Hello, Mama. How is it going? I am Jocelyn here, and I am here to encourage you in your pregnancy, to help you to find more positivity and to enjoy pregnancy so that it is not 9 months of heck. Because I have been there. I have had 4 pregnancies and a miscarriage, and I know that sometimes if we aren't paying attention to the thoughts we think, it can really become heck, especially with the body changes and the hormonal things that change with our minds and our bodies. Today, specifically, we are going to talk about how to deal with hormones in your pregnancy. And I'm going to give you 7 tips to help when things might be a little bit hard. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, host of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Thanks for joining. Hormone changes can be one of the toughest things to have to deal with when it comes to pregnancy. It seems like you're so up and down, you're so excited, then you're so sick, and you're so negative, and little things that shouldn't make you cry, and you just kind of feel out of whack. If you have felt that way, you're in good company. If you haven't, I imagine it will be yet to come. And if you don't currently feel this way, these tips will still be useful when you do feel some of these hormonal ups and downs, and you can utilize some of these tools. Now, you'll probably notice in a lot of my podcasts that a lot of the tools are fairly similar. They're not at all that different from each other. And there's a reason for that. We need repetition. We need to repeat these things in order for them to actually work, in order to get the fruits of our labor. And by fruits of our labor, I mean by using our thoughts to help control our mind and to help us to find more positivity. And it needs repeating. Think about how often you eat. You have to keep eating and repeating that 3 times a day or more. For a pregnant woman, it is probably a lot more than that. But it needs repeating. Your body needs constant nourishment, and so does your mind, which is why I hit these tools so often so that you can, with intentionality, nourish your mind so that you can have good mental health during your pregnancy. It isn't just important, it is vital to have that good mental health because it will help you get through that pregnancy without feeling like it's the worst thing in the world. And that's what I'm here for. So the first tip is to get plenty of sleep. As a pregnant woman, you might need more sleep. I needed a bit more sleep than I usually do during pregnancy. I just was so tired and exhausted. And actually, sometimes the sleep gave me reprieve from feeling sick. And if you have good sleep, it will allow your body to regulate a little bit better than if you're lacking sleep and you're feeling like, whoa, I am not only tired, but I'm hormonal and everything is making me angry or cry. So get enough sleep. If you need to sleep longer, it is okay. I know that sometimes I used to feel shame. I'd feel really bad that I went back to bed after I got my husband out the door in the morning. But that didn't serve me. It didn't help me to feel that shame. And you know what that sleep did? It really helped me not to be so moody because I was getting enough sleep. So don't feel bad about it. If anything, allow yourself to let go of the shame and to be okay with your body needing extra sleep during this pregnancy, during this season. Your body's doing amazing things and growing and creating your baby, and it takes sleep to do that. The next tip number 2, is to take a break during the day to relax. Sometimes it is good to just have some downtime. I have heard of a lot of moms, and I tried to implement this as well, that do like a rest time. Now, when I'm not pregnant, I usually don't sleep during that time, but when I am pregnant, I will sometimes take a nap during rest time when my kids are supposed to be reading books or listening to an audiobook or just quietly resting in their room. I will sometimes, especially in the first of pregnancy and towards the end, when I'm just big and tired, and at the beginning when I'm sick, I just need that nap to help sustain me, give me a break from the sickness, and get through the rest of the day. And it's okay to take a break. The next tip is to get regular physical activity. Now, this can be really hard, especially when you're sick. And I have been through times where I just simply did not fill up to physical activity. You're going to have to feel in your body and in your mind what you can handle and what tip or tips you need to implement. But getting enough physical activity releases endorphins and can really help release some of that negativity. Exercise is a way to release some of those negative emotions, and it can help, like I've mentioned before, regulate the hormones. The fourth tip, which kind of can go hand in hand with that, but also can be equally hard with pregnancy, is to eat well. Now, if you're sick, I know sometimes you just gotta eat whatever you can eat to keep anything down. But if you're not sick, try a little bit harder to choose an apple versus a cookie, to choose a salad instead of a hamburger, and to make a few more choices like that. I used to rationalize that because I was pregnant, I could eat whatever I wanted and gain all the weight I wanted because I was pregnant, and it was fine. But I didn't really go through the thought process of really intentionally thinking that it's my health and my baby's health is the reason to eat healthy. Not because of weight gain, or not because I can, quote unquote, gain weight because I have an excuse of being pregnant. Eat well because it is nourishing for you and your baby and your mind. Good foods do feed and help the hormones, whereas sugary and greasy foods can definitely amplify all the negative things that you're going through, which we don't want to amplify that anymore. Tip number 5 is to spend time with your partner. And this is one that I actually was not very good at. And I encourage you to do better than I did. I was not very good at feeding my marriage during pregnancy. I just didn't. I was kind of sick. I was kind of annoyed. I was kind of low libido. And there were times where I did okay, but other times, especially in my earlier pregnancies, where I was just a miserable person. And even my husband to this day says that pregnancy is some of the hardest seasons for him too, because of how it changes me. And so I encourage you to try and do a little bit better. Find some time to spend with him, or just simply sit by him, or walk together. But try and spend a little bit more time with your person, with your husband, and let that love flourish, because between the two of you, you're growing your posterity. And it's so marvelous when you can include him in the journey and do it while holding hands. Super amazing. Tip number 6 is to change your scenery. Now, I use this a lot with my children, especially young children, when they're kind of in the hangry phase or they just get unhappy in their environment, and that is to change the scenery. What I mean by that is go into a different room, go outside, go for a drive, walk around, but change your scenery. We as adults also sometimes need a change of pace and a change of scenery when we are feeling frustrated, hormonal, annoyed, and stuck. So change your scenery. All right, and the last tip kind of goes back to where we began this episode, and that is don't be too hard on yourself. Let's see if I can phrase that without the double negative. Don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself grace during this season. It's not going to look like other seasons, and that's okay, Mama. Let your mind be okay with it, because you and your body are doing amazing things in the formation of your baby. Keep up the good work. Implement 1 or 2 of these tools when it comes to your mind when you're feeling hormonal. In fact, I'm going to review those tips real quick. The first one was to get plenty of sleep. The second one was to take a break during the day to relax. The third was to get regular physical activity. The fourth was to eat well. The fifth was to spend time with your husband. The sixth was to change your scenery. And the seventh was to not be too hard on yourself. They are little, and sometimes they seem little, but it's the littlest things that can make the biggest difference in our mind and in our lives. If you need further help and you really want pregnancy to be enjoyable and not so dang difficult, I encourage you to look into my Positive Pregnancy Program. It is a program that I have designed based on my own 4 pregnancies and 1 miscarriage to help you get through with more positive thoughts through mental exercises that will train your mind to begin to go naturally to more positive thoughts surrounding pregnancy than negative thoughts. And it will help you to enjoy pregnancy a lot better. But it won't only help you, it'll bless your family as well. If this interests you, it is the top link in the show notes. I encourage you to check it out. Thank you so much for the amazing things you are doing in your motherhood. Thank you for the gift of life you are giving to your baby as you go through this difficult season of life. You are amazing. Keep shining. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you in a positive pregnancy, in losing that stubborn baby weight, and becoming the mom you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday mom life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.